Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Cuz You Don't Know Football. Today we got a host coming back in. Our boy Derek's on his way back in. We're gonna see what's up with him. We're gonna see what he talking about. But don't worry about that. Today we getting into it. We getting active. You heard me? So let's see what's going on with here. There it is. There it is. There's the face we love. Derek, welcome
What's
back,
up?
man. Listen,
What's up, cousin?
listen. I just want you to know you look like my big brother, and we got the same color on. I just want you to know.
What's going on, man?
They're gonna think we called each other in playing this, but that's all good though, because I don't care what people think.
There you go.
Welcome back, brother. You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy to be back. I'm so happy to be able to grace your presence.
Listen, man, the last time you came on, everybody was asking about you. They said, "Where's Derek? Where's Derek?" I said, "Look, he'll be back. All right, he'll be back."
That's because they know that I give it to you, baby. That's why. You know,
That's all good.
I'm the brains behind the operation.
I understand.
Hey, am I getting paid for this?
Not right now,
No,
no.
still no.
But
All right.
but
Well,
in the future, we're gonna
listen,
break down some dividends. Go ahead.
I just I just want everybody, send some comments to my cousin Tariq, man. Just hook a brother up. You know what I'm saying? Just send him some comments. Flood the comments, man. Just say his cousin needs to get some money. All right.
Everybody's after the green. All right. So we
I'm
got
happy
we
to
got a
be here,
couple
man.
topics today, man. I think we're gonna get into it. I think it's gonna be a real dope. So today we got some rookies. We're gonna talk about some rookies to watch out for. We're gonna talk about some under the radar teams. Well, the question is if they go in jail, then what's gonna happen? You know, and then
All
and
right.
then I want to talk about some teams specifically that I don't know if you want to say they're bad, but they may be good. They could surprise you, but they could be bad, and we're not
You
sure.
know, like the Indianapolis Colts. Oh, okay. Is that team
That's
you're talking
okay.
about?
We can
Oh
talk
no.
about them.
Oh no, I guess not that team. Okay. All
We can
right.
talk
Well,
about
whatever.
them. See, already started. See,
Yes. Oh, it's gonna be a great season, baby, because my boy Aaron Rodgers is ready to go, baby. You hear me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And listen, we got to do another show about who we think is going to win and divisions, winners, and all that stuff. All right. So put me on, man. Stop putting all them other guys on. Put me on, bro.
Forget
Come
them,
on.
bro. Forget them. They don't know what they're talking about anyway. No, I got you. So let's start with some rookies to watch out for. Tell me first rookie that comes to your mind, or whoever you have in your notes for
Come
rookie.
on, man. There's only one rookie to look out for right now, and that
Only
is
one.
Caleb Williams, baby. All right.
That's
Now listen,
that's
I'm gonna
easy.
tell you right now. Chicago has been garbage. I am not a Justin Fields fan. I'm glad they got rid of him, but I'm gonna tell you,
Uh-huh.
it's Caleb Williams. What the Bears did impressed me. They surrounded him with running backs
Mm-hmm.
and wide receivers. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I am not a big fan of USC quarterbacks. They all stink, and they all have stunk in the history of football, just about. But they got DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, my man Keenan Allen, and the rookie Ron. I can't pronounce his name. The boy from Michigan, Dunsi.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
wrong.
tell you,
Wrong Doomsday.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you that is a formidable offensive weapons
And
for. Go ahead.
and you're forgetting one thing. One, two, three, four, five, six. And what's going under the radar? They had the sixth ranked defense in the NFL last year.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. And as far as underrated teams,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna, I guess, talk about that. But let me tell you, Chicago's on that list for me. But I'm just very, I'm really looking forward to seeing Caleb Williams and what he could do. All right.
No, I
Uh,
agree. And I definitely feel as though if Caleb Williams is not successful year one, it is only the coaching staff's fault.
well, put it this way. I mean, it's very rare that year one rookie quarterbacks, no one picks, make the playoffs. But I'm just telling. Listen,
It happens. It happens more than you think.
it doesn't happen more than you think. It
It
does.
does.
Not their first year. Come on. Not the first year. I'm just saying, I want to see improve. I want to see the Chicago Bears improve. I want to see that this boy, listen, he's going to have his growing pains, but just like I told you before, all those other rookies 3 years ago, they didn't have great first season, but they didn't have bad first seasons compared, right? And you just see the growth. I mean, listen, it's a work in progress. We're not expecting Caleb Williams to come in and play for the Super Bowl, okay? But I will say this: I just want to see if Chicago gets better. That's it. And I think with him, they got a good start. They have the pieces in place to do so.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad you said it. So I'm saying, listen, oh my God, I'm staying at home. You want to bring up the Colts? Let's talk about the Colts. Liatu Latu. Listen, let me tell you something about this defensive end. He slid to us. We didn't expect him to be available at this point. Listen, when they said draft grades, so when they do draft grades, they go, 1 to 100 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about coming out of college, defensive ends coming out of college. Of anybody you want to name, he was ranked like on a scale of 1 to 100, he was 94, which means which means he's of the A caliber pass rushers. He's of that caliber pass rushers, and we were lucky to get him at 15. So I'm saying he could come in on a defensive front that doesn't need him to be an every down back, that he can just come in, be a pass rush specialist year one, and I really feel as though he can make a big difference year one for the Indianapolis Colts on a defense that was top 10 last year.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what school he came out of? I don't remember what school.
UCLA.
UCLA. First year edge rushers. I'm looking at. Nobody comes to mind as a dominant first year pass rusher. Jadeveon Clowney was touted. The boy from I forgot the boy's name from Washington, Chase Young.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't, I don't remember about the guy from Myles Garrett. I don't know what he did his first year. Micah Parsons might be the closest, maybe. I mean, Micah Parsons.
That's what I'm saying. Micah Parsons might have came in at like 95
right.
or something like that.
I mean, yeah, you're right. No, I'm saying if he's that, if he's that guy, first year, sometimes, you don't see it in the first year, but this guy might do some. He might be in the Michael Parsons, conversation. I mean, I'm pulling for you guys. I like edge rushers. I'm surprised he went 15. I don't know if he was the first edge rusher taken in the draft, but at 15, I'm surprised he was a little higher because everybody wants edge rushers. So we got to see.
We needed them. That was a big splash on a position that was needed. I can't tell you how excited I am about him. Listen, everybody keeps talking about Anthony Richardson, and I still got questions about Anthony Richardson, to be honest with you. But I'm more excited about this pick than I am I have less questions about this pick than I do with Anthony Richardson right now.
Well, I mean, listen, Indianapolis, they're in that division now. They got the Jaguars and the Texans to deal with. But if Anthony Richardson is,
Titans ain't no slouch.
Yeah, and Titans, but they got some weapons around them. Taylor and Pittman. I mean, I like those guys. They were my fantasy, so I like them. But we got to see. It's a tight division, man. And I'm telling you right now, Houston is putting a stamp on that division. Jacksonville is going to want to try and put a stamp to say that we're still the cream of the crop. Indianapolis got their work cut out.
I think so. I think we've now progressed of the AFC South. The AFC South is no longer a laughing matter. It's no longer what it is like. When you play the AFC South this year, you should expect an extra loss on your resume. It's like that kind of.
It's not a foregone conclusion. You're gonna go in there and win.
I think. Listen, the Titans are coming up on our next segment, but I really do think the Titans can beat a lot of these upper echelon teams. I just don't think they'll be able to do it consistently. But
you think they're gonna win that division?
No.
I don't think so either.
No playoffs, so nothing like that.
I don't even think they're gonna. They probably won't even make the playoffs. Then listen, they lost
what
one
I'm
of their
saying is
biggest weapons.
They're a team that's physical. They're a team that does have talent. And I think when you look at them, there's teams that they match up very well against.
But they lost their best player. So
I mean,
just saying, they lost their best player. So I don't know how, and I don't, the quarterback situation there. I mean,
but when you say lost their best player, yeah, they lost Derrick Henry. But Derrick Henry's also in year 9 now.
You and I know you and I are going to have a disagreement on this. I understand what you're saying. He's been great last year. Not so great. He's on his downside, but he was the offense on that team.
Right.
So now, I mean, he may not have. I think he was their best player, at least for the fact that he was on the field all the time, and he does carry a big load. I don't know how him not being there, how that affects the Titans.
Right.
Maybe they go in a different direction. Maybe they have a different scheme offensively. Who knows?
Right. So I actually got another guy, and it goes back into a conversation me and you had in the past. So I got another guy, and I'm just going to spit it out, and then I'll explain it. Minnesota Vikings drafted J.J. McCarthy with their number 10 overall pick. Me and you ended a conversation in which we were talking about Dak Prescott. It may have been another quarterback, but basically what happened was we concluded with the problem is with the GM. It was about if it's his fault or what he needs, or if he's good, if he's great, blah, 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 blah. The GM drafts him. I said the problem is the GMs draft these quarterbacks in the first round. Because then you have to pay them. And the problem comes in when you have to pay your quarterback. I'm looking at this and I'm saying J.J. McCarthy's going to fail. He's going to fail in this situation. He's not good enough to elevate that. And when you're a top 10 pick, especially as a quarterback, you're looked at to be the savior. You're looked at to be the guy that says, we're going to put some shit on your back and you're still going to take us there. We still going to win because we have you. And he's not that. And the GMs continuously overpay and overdraft these quarterbacks because they think any quarterback will work. And I keep saying any quarterback don't work. It has to be the quarterback. So yes, J.J. McCarthy for the Minnesota Vikings.
And to watch him? You say
I'm
he's
watching him. I'm saying he needs to be watched because I think he's going to be a cautionary tale by the end of his career.
Well, the question is, listen, his first year, I don't know how good Minnesota is going to be this year. I mean, but his first year, what are you going to expect from him? You're not expecting him to necessarily make the playoffs. I mean, not a lot of first-year quarterbacks, first-year quarterbacks do. I mean, you can't say he's not the guy. You're saying he's not the guy now. We don't know if he's the guy. He might be the guy down the road. It all depends on how he develops. I mean, there's not many quarterbacks that you pick in the top 10 that are guaranteed. I mean, to be the guy.
Well, then, like what I'm saying is, there's other positions in football. If you don't know you had that guy, it would behoove your whole franchise to not draft a guy. Now here's what I'm saying. So
you know where I'm going with this. I know where you're going with this.
No, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say. Say what you're gonna say.
You keep saying that, but you cannot ever be successful without a good quarterback. You always say, don't spend that draft position on a quarterback that's unproven and he's not the guy. Fine. Then you say, okay, you should use that to go out and get other pieces. And that doesn't work either because we've seen, maybe except for Brock Purdy, who's decent enough because he was surrounded by a lot of people. He was picked last pick in the draft. The Jets picked Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson, especially Zach Wilson, the second pick in the draft, surrounded him with great players last year, and he was not it. All I'm saying is you got to have the quarterback. Everybody's taking a chance on the quarterback. If this draft, you did not want to let all those good quarterbacks go to beef up your team and have the quarterback that you have now. If you're picking in the top 10, that means you suck this year. And it more than likely is because you didn't have either a healthy quarterback or, nobody was picked in the top 10 that had a great quarterback, right? So you got to go out there and try and find the guy that's going to be the guy. Listen, I'm all about it. I've seen it work the way you're talking about. And unfortunately, the quarterback he was not good enough.
Okay.
That's the battle.
So if Brock Purdy was drafted in the third round, I would have no issue with that. I don't like the 49ers would tell you. I don't think they would say it out loud, but if John Lynch, if you went to his office and he shut the door and locked it, he's whispering in your ear, we got really fucking lucky getting Brock Purdy. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I still don't think he's great, but I think he's definitely good. Now,
he wasn't right. He wasn't the guy, but he turned out to be the guy that you needed.
But you haven't paid him yet.
All right, so that's
what I'm saying.
They found out. They found out early. They found out.
What I'm saying is, you could justify not paying Brock Purdy because of where he was drafted. You can't justify not paying a top 10 pick because this, like, well, why would you draft a guy instead of the guy with a top 10 pick?
Who's the guy? Give me an example of
the guy that you said before, Caleb Williams. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
A guy would be like Christian Ponder. A guy would be like Gardner Minshew.
But those guys didn't go. Those guys didn't go in the top 10. In the top 10, those are supposed to be the guys. I mean, basically, if you're gonna take that draft capital, they're supposed to be franchise quarterbacks. You're not taking them in the top 10 to not pay him.
That's what we are saying the same thing. You just said what I said.
But you don't know if he's going to be the guy. You have to. You're taking a chance, obviously, but you got to develop.
That's what the GM's job is.
Listen,
that's what his job. Now, here's my biggest point. Are in the division. Now he's in the NFC North, right? JJ McCarthy's in the NFC North. Is he going to be better than Jordan Love?
Nope.
Okay.
Not this year. Not this year. He could be. Jordan Love wasn't great his first year.
Okay. So we got what? Is he going to be better than Caleb Williams?
I don't know. I can't. You're talking about different teams. I mean, listen, he won a national championship. Caleb Williams didn't.
No,
right? He won a national championship.
Let me answer that question for you. Let me answer that question for you. No, he's not going to be better than Caleb Williams.
But what if? Well, I mean, I understand, but you can't see. I don't like discussing what could be or possibility. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Nobody fucking knows. You know?
Well, Jordan Love has done something, and Caleb Williams was in his draft, and they had the choice. The Bears had the choice of both of them, and they said, "I want Caleb Williams." Okay, so what I'm saying is, at best, which is probably not what it is, but at best, they have the third best quarterback in their own division. That don't help the franchise.
No, I mean, listen, if they don't get blown out, if JJ McCarthy looks like he's something, you can't. I mean, how many first-year quarterbacks light up the joint? Except for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, but Patrick Mahomes didn't start. No, he didn't start his first year. He sat. But I'm just saying, how many?
To act as if Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have done the same thing.
And Patrick Mahomes got drafted 15.
But to act as if Patrick Mahomes could not have stepped in and done that.
Wait. Patrick Mahomes coming out of the draft wasn't the guy.
He was the guy.
No, he wasn't. He would have went first.
No. What I'm saying is they
wasn't the guy.
Listen. The Chiefs had the only reason he sat because the Chiefs already had a Pro Bowl quarterback in Alex Smith at the time.
Who went ahead of Patrick Mahomes? No, he was not.
Deshaun Watson. Watson.
In your description of the guy, he should have went first. He got passed up. They passed up.
Yes, I agree.
He got passed up a few times.
Yes, but
he turned out to be the guy. He turned out to be the guy.
But hold on. There can be the guy. Like Deshaun Watson was the guy. He was the correct pick for the Houston Texans.
Yes,
and he's the guy too. So in that draft, they had two guys. They like these are the guys. Like they're the guy you plug in and you start and you build your franchise around. JJ McCarthy ain't that.
We don't know that. We have no idea.
That's why I'm watching for him.
All right, good. You're watching him. All right, I'm watching for Marvin Harrison Jr. Because that kid, if he's built up to the hype, Kyler Murray is going to be very happy. Now, I don't know. Arizona is one of my underrated teams. I think they might do it with a healthy Kyler Murray. But, Marvin Harrison had 144 catches and 2,500 yards and 28 touchdowns in 2 years. Ohio State always has good wide receivers. We know that. But I want to look at him. I'm definitely looking to see what he can do. Marvin Harrison.
Now, I do think that's interesting because I could see him coming in having like a Randy Moss type impact on the NFL. I could. But I do feel as though it's difficult with the Cardinals because the Cardinals they went on a stretch at the end of the year where they won like 5 straight or like 6 out of the last 7 or something like that when Kyler Murray came back. And adding him to that, I do think it's interesting. I think they got to shed their mystique, and their mystique is not of a positive one. And they got to show we're a team that you have to deal with. Like, I don't know what their offensive line really is going to be right now. I don't know what their defensive line is really going to be right now. They definitely have some pieces, but in terms of, especially in that division that they're in the NFC West, where you got the 49ers and you got the Rams and you got the Seahawks.
Seahawks. That's
I
another
mean,
underrated team I like.
they're not going to sweep any of those teams. So
No,
are they going
and
to
I'm not even.
win more?
I'm not. Listen, we're talking about the rookies to watch for.
Yeah.
I
So
think
what I'm
Marvin
saying is,
Harrison. I'm not saying Marvin Harrison is going to vault them into the playoffs. No, I'm just saying I think he's going to have a very big impact on that team because
no,
I think
okay, so
Kyler Murray has enough
that's fair. That's
experience.
fair.
He has enough experience now. Now he's got a legitimate wide receiver. So as long as he stays healthy. Now I don't know about their defense, their offensive line. I don't know, but I think Marvin Harrison, if everything falls right, he can definitely be a very big impact for that team.
Yeah, so let me explain what I was saying. A wide receiver is a position that is a little bit more dependent on the other positions and what they're going to do. So it's hard for a wide receiver to just dominate if their offensive line sucks. It's hard. I didn't say it's impossible. I
Oh
said
yeah, absolutely.
so if they don't answer that question, that could hinder, you know what I mean, his rookie year stats. You know, and
right,
that
but we don't.
scares me.
But do we know every team's offensive line or what their situation is? I mean, listen, Kyler Murray can scramble. He can stretch the pocket. He can stretch the field. I just don't want him to get hurt. All I know is that, given everything the way it is, if he has enough time, this guy can be a very big impact for Arizona. That's right, and they have a running game as well.
Right. Yeah, with James Conner and everything. Yeah, no,
And
I
so
agree. I agree, but like that definitely could be a very interesting pick. You know what I mean? I'm very interested to see how that turns out. Okay. I see you came some heat today, unless you had somebody else, another rookie.
I got a couple others. I'm interested in
All
Jaden
right,
Daniels with Washington.
all right.
I
So
want to
let's
see
just
what
go
he
over.
does.
Let's just go over Jaden Daniels, and we got to move on to the next topic.
All right, go ahead.
All right, no, we can go over Jaden Daniels though. Go ahead, talk
No,
to
no,
me.
no. I just was gonna say Malik Neighbors is another one for the Giants, although he's got Daniel Jones thrown to him. Jaden Daniels, I'm just interested to see what he can do. And then the offensive lineman Joe Alt Chicago for the Chargers because they're going to need to protect what you're going and Jared Verse, Rams linebacker. Those are the rookies that interest me.
Right. So Jaden Daniels is the most interesting to me because, well, not because. No, because Malik Neighbors unfortunately got Daniel Jones throwing him the ball, and I firmly expect him to be crippling his season this year. I firmly expect that.
I know. Poor Giants.
So that's that. But no, and so I would say this again. So when it comes to Jaden Daniels, in a weird way, and you can tell me if you feel like I'm crazy. In a weird way, this kind of feels like RG3's rookie year. When I look at the division, like I could see the Cowboys losing a couple more games than you think. I could see the Eagles losing a couple more games if you think. I think no matter what, the excuse me, the Commanders are going to win, you know what I mean, 9 or 10 games, more like 9. If they can get 9 and that's enough, that's what I feel as though they would be able to. That's why I say it's kind of comparable because I could see the Eagles and the Cowboys coming down.
I tell you what, rookie quarterback in that division.
That's the same thing we felt when RG did what he did.
I know, but I'm just saying
And remember,
that division is a little different
but
now
also
than it was back
remember,
then. All right, I'm just saying
there's never listen in the last like 8 years there has not been a repeat.
I know, but
NFC East champion.
what I'm saying is, those the Eagles and the Cowboys are veteran teams, and the Eagles just got better. All right, all I'm saying is that those teams are going to beat up on each other, and a rookie quarterback, I don't see him being successful in that division at all.
Okay.
I don't. That's
Okay.
all.
That's fair. That's fair.
So what are we gonna move on to next?
Okay. Let's get to if they gel. I want to know. So when I say if they gel, if you feel as though there's a team and you just say, yo, if they get it together, they can make the playoffs. You know what I mean? That's cool. If you say that if they get together, they can win their division. I understand. If you say if they gel, they can go to the AFC or NFC Championship game. I understand. And if you saying if they gel, they're gonna win the whole damn thing, I understand that too. I just need to know if this team gets it together, where they going.
All right. So what are you asking? Which team?
Yes, which team, if they gel, and how far do you think they can go?
The New York Jets.
Of course, you're gonna say the Jets. I'm shocked you ain't got the jersey on right now.
I was gonna put it on. And I'm gonna tell you why. Obviously I'm a Jets fan, right? But we all know what happened last year. They had the greatest defense. They had a Super Bowl defense and a Division II offense. Right? That's basically what they had.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers can make all the difference in the world. They have the pieces. They've got the offensive line. They've got the running backs. They've got the wide receivers, and they got the defense. Defense was phenomenal last year. My cousin played on that. By the way, he went back to Tampa Bay. Jordan Whitehead
Mm-hmm.
went back to Tampa Bay. But anyway, the only thing was missing was a quarterback. If this team can gel, if the offensive line can keep pressure off of Aaron Rodgers is going to tear shit up. Period. All right. I expect them to make the playoffs. I want the division. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want the division. Because Buffalo, I don't know what they're gonna do. They let Stephon Diggs go. I don't know. They Miami might be tough. I'm not worried about New England, but the conference final AFC championship, I'm not gonna go that far because that's a tough nut to crack. But if they do gel, they can do serious damage. Right? That's one team.
Hold on, let's stay there real quick.
Okay, good.
So for me, the Jets are my dark horse Super Bowl team. With that said, there's also a scenario in which they don't make the playoffs at all. And I could see, and I could see, and I
not make it. What's that scenario? Because I'm curious.
So for me, that scenario is the
Injury.
pieces, the pieces that they brought in, because the pieces they brought in that are supposed to make a difference are injury prone people. Or Aaron Rodgers just had an Achilles injury and now he's 40. Mike Williams, the wide receiver, is an injury prone.
I love him.
I love him. I love him too, but he's an injury prone player. And also Tyron Smith, your left tackle. He's an injury prone player. So if they don't happen, I actually do see you could win your division. They could come in second place. But I think for the Jets, honestly, I think the Jets are scarier. If now I can tell you this. If the Jets get squeak into the playoffs and like they won like 10 games and like it was like interesting if they was going to make the playoffs and then they get in, I don't think there's a team that really wants to play the Jets at that point because now you've had to figure out how to win as opposed to, oh, we just got out on this lead and we just figured this and we don't have to change anything. Usually I don't like teams that come in like that. The Jets come in and they're like in that you get your second place in your division. It was iffy if you was going to make the playoffs. Now I'm really scared of the Jets. But if you honestly, I'm less scared of the Jets if y'all just come in 13 wins, 14 wins, and now, you know what I mean? It was easy for you.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I understand that. I don't see a scenario where they don't make the playoffs unless obviously Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, right? What I will say this though, the only thing that scares me a little bit is they just don't know how to win. Okay, they don't know how to win, and when you start trying to win the division, going against, and then you go into playoffs, you're playing against the good teams. I'm scared that Aaron Rodgers has he has the experience, the know-how to get this done. But remember, his coaching staff doesn't. And that's where I'm a little afraid that if Robert Saleh does not do the right thing or the coaching staff doesn't do it, and Aaron Rodgers, and handcuffs Aaron Rodgers, they need to let Aaron Rodgers run that offense and run that, basically do that because he knows what it takes to win. And if Aaron Rodgers sees something that is needed, Robert Saleh needs to understand, you better listen to this boy. So what I'm nervous of is that Aaron Rodgers and Robert Sala, the coaching staff, aren't on the same page, and that could stymie me. You understand?
It could. It could. But honestly, I do think, and I'm gonna move on real quick. But to be real with you, I think Miami's gonna miss the playoffs this year completely. I see them falling off.
I don't. Why do you see that? Because their weapons are ridiculous. Dude, do you see the running backs are ridiculous, man?
Mm-hmm.
They're all fast.
Mm-hmm.
They got the four fastest guys in the NFL.
So I'm gonna say it real quick because then I'm gonna go to my team. Um, the Dolphins got figured out last year at the end of the year. They plummeted at the end of the year. Everybody pretty much figured out they're either going to beat you over the top, they're either going to use that speed, or they can't beat you. Sustaining drives and everything, even with that defense, really wasn't what they was. It was quick, go touchdowns. Let's get turnovers. Let's get that going. But when they made it, people when everybody slowed the game down and made them have to grind it out, they were exposed as a team that couldn't do it. At that too, they just lost Christian Wilkinson, their best defensive lineman, and Xavier Woods, who was their number one cornerback last year. Now they still have Jalen. I can't think of his name.
Jalen Watt.
No, not Jalen Watt. I'm talking about the cornerback.
Oh.
I can't think of. He got drafted by the he went to Florida State, got drafted by the Jaguars, and then went to the Rams, won a ring, and now he's in Miami. Can't think of his name. They still Jalen Ramsey. They still have Jalen Ramsey, but Xavier Woods is going and Christian Wilkinson was going. That's the culture of that defense. I expect that defense to be worse, and I expect people to look at them and say, you will have to run the ball. And I think that's more on Tua, and I don't think Tua is that guy to carry shit. I think he's good.
Yeah, but they made the playoffs last year, man.
And then what happened? Like they didn't win another game. Like they won they lost like 5 straight games, which ended into halfway through November. They didn't win another game.
But wasn't Tua hurt? Was somebody hurt? Somebody was hurt, wasn't there? I can't remember. Was it somebody was hurt? But my point is, they made it to the playoffs. They were a scary team, and then they got beat by the Chiefs, right?
They didn't get beat by the Chiefs. They got beat by.
Who did they get beat by?
It was either Buffalo or it was Buffalo. They lost.
Buffalo. Okay.
It was Buffalo.
Well, so is this the team that you're saying is they gel they're going to make it?
I'm saying Buffalo's going to make it. I'm saying in my opinion, I think right now the Dolphins are not going to make the playoffs. But I want to give you my team because we got about 5 minutes before this runs through. So I'm gonna give you a surprise one. The Atlanta Falcons. I think if they gel, they could be an interesting team in the NFC. I don't think they're winning the NFC. Could they advance in the NFC? Yeah. I think their offensive line is phenomenal, actually.
Their running back is ridiculous.
And their running back is phenomenal. And they have their wide receiver is Drake. He's he's really good. Now, when I say if they gel, that tight end, he's got a
he's been a big disappointment for me.
Yes. So he's got to step up and be that guy. I mean, he's not a blocking.
Oh my God, he drives me crazy, man.
But if Kyle Pitts, thank you very much. If Kyle Pitts puts it together and can get them like 800 yards with that offensive line and that running game and Kenyon Drake on the outside, I think that they're going to be a legitimate team with Kirk Cousins. I do.
Well, listen, look at their division area.
But I'm saying that's why I'm saying like I expect them to be in the playoffs. I'm saying they could advance in the playoffs too.
I mean, they could. Listen, Kirk Cousins is playing for something. I mean, he's a veteran. They have it all laid out for them to do well, so we'll see. I mean, I can't say that you're wrong. I think they're going to win the division. I think they're pretty underrated. You're right. If they gel, I think that they'll be very good.
Right. Now, we don't know what that defense is going to provide, but I don't know. That's the truth. I don't know. But it wasn't like the worst defense.
No. It wasn't the worst defense.
So they're going to get into it, and they're going to have some losses, which is some scrapes on them, and then they're going to be in the playoffs. And I'm very interested to see how when they scrape into the playoffs, what that looks like for them. Actually, we hit that pretty soon. So real quick before we go to before we end this one and then go to the next segment, I'm gonna give you 2 teams that I think the Dolphins was one that I think aren't going to make the playoffs. I'm starting to get towards the Cowboys as being a team that's not even going to make the playoffs.
No. They're going to make it.
Listen, they're going to be very dependent on Dak Prescott on that.
They always have been.
But
They always have
no,
been.
they have not been. No, they have
of
not
course
been.
they have.
No, they have not been.
Who they've been dependent on?
That defense. Him not
Still got to score.
Him not turning him making.
I watched CeeDee Lamb and what's the other boy? The other receiver. Cook, was it Brandon Cook?
Brandon Cooks is the other receiver.
I watched him become he won that game for them. You know, that in the play. Listen, they're gonna make the playoffs, and they're Dak Prescott. You say that they're dependent on. They've always been dependent on Dak Prescott.
Listen,
you can't just be dependent on the defense. Yeah, the defense is
helping. Here it is. Now watch this.
You got those all-pro defensive guys. Of course, that helps.
All right, so let me ask you.
You still need Dak Prescott.
All right, real quick. All right, so let's just go real quick. All right, so the Eagles do you expect? I expect the Eagles to win that division. Do you expect the Eagles to win the division?
The Eagles are going to smash it.
Okay. Let's be quick. Let's be quick. Let's be quick. Is the Lions going to win the NFC North?
Yes.
Okay. Are the Falcons going to win the NFC South?
Yes.
Are the 49ers going to win the NFC West?
They should.
Okay. Are the Packers going to make the playoffs?
I don't know. Second
year. Okay, so that's interesting. That's interesting.
I'm not
are the
so
Bears?
sold.
Are the Bears going to make the playoffs?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to make
it. Okay. Are the Rams going to make the playoffs or the Seahawks?
Yes, I think. Just like last year, they both made it. I mean, the Seahawks made it.
Seahawks did not make it last year.
I thought they made it.
No, they didn't.
Okay, Rams made it.
So that's 6. And really, you don't think the Bears are going to make the playoffs? I think the Bears are going to make the playoffs. Absolutely. Okay, so then I can see where you see the Cowboys slipping in. Because I'm looking at this and I'm saying, the Bears and the Packers are both probably going to make the playoffs. And then you got the
wait. So you got the Bears, Packers, and Detroit making the playoffs?
Yep.
No way. Ain't no way. Not all three of them.
Yep.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yep. Yeah. They're. What do you like? I'm saying, look at the roster.
The Chicago Bears haven't proved anything to you. Green Bay.
They have the number 4 defense, and they have They have a running game. They have. They invested in offensive line.
It doesn't matter.
And now they got 3 wide receivers.
Listen, Caleb Williams might play just a little bit better than Justin Fields in his first year. Okay, that's what I'm saying. There's no way. I don't think they're going to make not all 3. Listen, Philadelphia. Listen, Dallas is going to split with Philly, and they're going to sweep the Giants, and they might split, and they're going to sweep the Redskins.
They're not going to sweep both of them.
I think. Well, they're going to be 3-1. They're going to be 3-1. They're going to sweep one of those 2 teams.
One of them.
And Washington with a rookie quarterback. Listen, with a rookie quarterback and that defense, you think that rookie quarterback's going to win that game? Get out of here! Ain't no way. I know you kicked me off. Before, and I gotta work my way back. But that's how my cousin did.
That's why I bring you on.
Listen, all you fans out there, I hope you enjoyed the show. I used to be part of this show first. Me and Tariq created it, and then he went on his own. No fault of his own. He's entrepreneurial, I guess. I don't know what you want to call him. I got left in the dust.
You're right.
Not blaming him. I'm not blaming him, but because I gotta be nice to him because I want to get back on the show as a regular. So I'm trying to work my way back. So
listen, you are not the first person to say who the hell he think he is. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm used to it.
But I'm his family. He put on other people. But I'm his family. But that's all right. Everybody ain't your family.
Wait. Everybody that's on this show right now, I fuck with in real life. So everybody on this show, I fuck with in real life.
Can any of them trace their roots back to Mobley?
Jamal.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, Jamal ain't gonna be. He don't want to be a host.
He think he too cool for everything anyway. So
right. See, I'm not too cool. So I want to be a host again. So I'm trying to work my way back. All right.
He gonna be on. He gonna be on next week.
Why don't you put me and him on?
We'll see. Let me see if because he might want his time. Listen, listen.
You see everybody. You see. Look,
Let
look.
me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
He a
something.
mogul
Let
now.
me tell you something. He loves his little brother. Okay, he needs his time with his brother. You see what I'm saying?
I love my little cousin. So
He said I'm refreshing. He didn't say that. I said that, but that's okay. All right, we go keep going. All right, cool. So we're gonna move into this last segment of the show. Can these teams be good? That's all I want to know is can these teams be good? And then give me an explanation, okay? All right. Let's start with a team. Let's start with them. The Saints. Tell me, can the Saints be good? Is there a track for the Saints to be good?
yes.
What's that track?
Well, listen, they play down in New Orleans. Jimmy G's their quarterback. I mean, Derek Carr's their quarterback, right? I mean, they still got Michael. I'm losing my train of thought because I'm old. The wide receiver,
Oh,
Mike
you talking
Thomas.
Olave, Chris Olave.
No, the other one.
Chris, that's their wide receiver. No, they don't. Okay, they don't have. You're talking about
Thomas.
yes, Michael Thomas. He's not
Michael
there.
Thomas.
He's not
Oh, he's
there.
not there anymore. Okay. See, this is all right. See, this.
He became a problem.
Yeah. I love Alvin Kamara.
Mhm.
Love him, but he's taking a step back. That running back position is wearing on.
They have been.
Uh, you know, I still think that they play. I still think they play in one of the best environments for football.
Mhm.
But listen, they got the Falcons. They got that division is tough. So I think they could be good, but I don't see them making
Right. So first of all, I want to publicly say, you were right last year, and I know you didn't expect that to happen.
the playoffs. Wait. Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I want to publicly say, Derek, you was right last year. Okay, and it was about Derek Carr. I came into the season looking at the Saints and what they could do, and I said Derek Carr was a big part of it. Um, and because of things that he did in his past. And you said he's not that. And I said, yes, he is that. And I was wrong. Okay.
Okay.
So do I think is there a path for the Saints to be good? Derek Carr would have to be somebody else.
And not in that conference, man. That conference is gonna be tough, man.
I mean, it is what it is. It's
I
just
know,
they
but
underachieved.
but 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 but, but think about this, because think about all the good teams in that conference. Do you see the Saints beating most of them?
No, not now. Last year,
No,
before the season started,
no. But I'm after what you've seen. I'm saying, do you
um,
see? I don't see the Saints competing with those guys. I just don't.
I don't.
These teams are loaded, man. They're loaded.
Like Alvin Kamara is not as he's taking a step back. Even the
You
wide
take it.
receiver, Marshawn Lattimore, he's not as good as he
He
once was.
wasn't even. He wasn't even
I mean, he had a year. Nah, he had about two
world
years. He had
beater.
about 2 or 3 years where he was, yeah, I mean, but
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
like you know what I mean. Even the stars that are supposed to be stars outside of Chris Olave are on the downsides of their career. So
Listen, Tampa Bay won that division last year,
yes, they did
right? All right, and with what quarterback?
with Baker Mayfield. I just want to make it clear so that you make sure that nothing gets caught, in
Okay, I just wanted. Yeah.
Mike and everything. You say,
Although I will say this, you were right, if we're being completely honest, you were right about Baker Mayfield and Cleveland. I totally misread that. I thought they were going to back the truck up for him, and they let his ass go. so that just tells me I thought he was the savior of Cleveland, and you called it. You called it.
yeah,
So
I
I
think
give you that too.
but you know what I mean. We'll
But
see what happens with him.
the
Um.
Saints,
Okay. Cool. Well, let's move on. Let's move on with those Arizona Cardinals. Is there a track? Is there a track where the Cardinals are good?
do I see him making the playoffs? No.
Okay.
Do I see them competing in that division? Yes. But Kyler Murray has to have his head on straight and he has to stay healthy. Marvin Harrison is going to be a big addition, is going to help. Because remember when they had John Brown, Kyler Murray was throwing bombs. I mean, he was
He had
really
DeAndre
doing well.
Hopkins too. He had DeAndre
Yeah,
Hopkins.
and yeah, but DeAndre Hopkins, he didn't wow me. But that's when they had
DeAndre Hopkins was great.
not he wasn't great like he was at Houston.
He
Come on,
was.
no, he wasn't.
He was D Hop.
But they I think a lot of times they also lost on their defensive side. When J.J. Watt went there, it just didn't. I just that team. I think they got a new coach. I think Raheem Morris is there now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. Uh, I think they'll be average at best. I don't see them winning that division. Uh, Seattle. I like Seattle. I like Seattle. I don't like Geno Smith. Huh?
I said, listen, this is why I love it when like words are used. You said Kyler Murray got to keep his head on straight. He got to avoid injuries, and all stuff's going to happen for them to be average.
Average. Yeah.
Just average. Yeah,
But I do think they'll be better than last year. How about that? I like Seattle as a sleeper in that division, only because I love DK Metcalf, I love Tyler Lockett, and I love Walker the third, the running back. I'm not a big Geno fan, but Geno's won some big games, and he's proved he's won some big games. I'm not a big Geno Smith fan, but he proved that he can play. He can play.
Geno said they wrote me off, and I ain't right back. So
and I ain't right back. And I'm gonna tell you, that was a big game that he won.
I said, go ahead, Geno. Go ahead, Geno.
I'm hoping that they can improve, but the division is tough. I think the Rams are going to bounce back. I think the Rams are still good. Okay, and Seattle, of course. I mean, I'm not Seattle. San Francisco. They better get that Brandon Ayuk situation straightened out. Because I had him in the fantasy 2 years in a row, and that boy is money. I mean, they got the greatest all-purpose back, I think, in the league.
Again, this is the problem when you got to start moving your money to pay your quarterback.
No, now that was but they don't have to pay him this year though, right?
They don't have to pay him this year, but it's about the amount of years and how much you're going to get. So that year that he wants to, one of those years that he wants to get paid, I'm not saying this is specifically what's happening. I'm saying there's a probably high likelihood that one of those years he wants to get paid. They're saying, I got to keep that money I got to keep half of that for Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy's not going to. Brock Purdy his contract's up in 3 years. He's the only rookie quarterback. Was he a rookie?
No, he was not a rookie last year.
Not last year, but he was Mr. Irrelevant. Not in last year's draft. The year before that, right? Because they had Trey Lance and they had Jimmy G.
Through 2025. So this is his last year on the contract.
Oh, okay. All right. That's Brock Purdy.
Yes, Brock Purdy.
So all right, yeah. Yeah, you're right. All right, then that's the case. Yeah. I mean, listen.
And that's why I always say, if you're gonna pay, you gotta have the quarterback, but you have to pay him.
But dude, he was drafted 3 years ago.
Hold on. But you do have to pay him. And when you have that guy who you have to pay, you're gonna lose a lot of these people.
But listen, they had Trey Lance. You would have had to pay Trey Lance if Trey Lance worked out. So either way, it doesn't matter. You're gonna still have to pay your quarterback. Listen, they would have had to pay Trey Lance.
Okay.
So yeah, you got to pay that. Brandon Ayuk thinks he's better. He's the best, and rightfully so. I mean, he put up some numbers, but don't forget he's on
Super Bowl winning quarterbacks don't have top 5 wide receivers.
Super Bowl winning quarterbacks?
Super Bowl winning quarterbacks do not have top 5 wide receivers.
Tyreek Hill's not a top 5 wide receiver.
When he was with the Chiefs, no. We've had this conversation, and you called me, even told me I was right.
I know. We looked up his numbers, but he was.
They were definitely at that time 5 wide receivers better than him at that time. Yes, I could look it up.
But he was in the top 10. I mean, listen.
Okay,
Tyreek Hill.
So
we can't dispute the fact that Tyreek Hill helped them win that Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Doug Baldwin helped the Seahawks win a Super Bowl. So
I'm talking about as far as explosive play, whatever. Anyway, all I'm saying is, I mean, listen, Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, you say that Super Bowl winners don't have top wide receivers. I don't know. Mike Evans won with Tampa Bay. He might have been the top 5 at the time. When they won. I mean, he was pretty good. Cooper Kupp Won.
See, I didn't think he was a top 5 wide receiver. I said it then.
That year that he won, he was freaking.
I don't think. No, see, when you say top 5, that doesn't mean you had a great year. That means, and out of all the attributes,
How can you be top 5 and not have a great year?
That's very easy. You could have got hurt and still been one of the top 5 wide receivers.
No, if you got hurt, you're not in the top 5
no.
Numbers wise,
there's a difference between being you're having conversation of we're having conversation of better, like better, meaning I can prolong this, I can do this whenever. It's if it may be in the system, it's dependent on me not doing it as much, but I could do this every play. Though Cooper Kupp is not top 5 of that in the NFL. He never was. He did it for 1 year. They said, "Okay, I see what you're doing." And even now, even now, he's their number 2 wide receiver.
Right, but I mean, when they went to the Super Bowl, Cooper Kupp was the man.
He was
kidding me?
He was good.
He was the number one option.
All I'm saying is there were 5 wide receivers better than him. That's all I'm saying.
But all I'm saying is, yes, he might have been. I don't know what rank he was, but he was one of the top receivers in the league.
All I'm saying is at that year, like that year, if you said who was the wide receivers, there were 5 that were better than him. That's what I'm saying.
Who were they? Who did the Rams play in the Super Bowl?
I'd have to think about
it. Who did the Rams play in the Super Bowl? Remember?
The Rams played. Oh yeah, they played Cincinnati.
Jamar Chase wasn't one of the top 5 receivers.
Yes, and he lost.
Well, he was in it. He could have won, and then they would have won.
T.O.'s been in the Super Bowl.
But I'm just saying,
Randy Moss has been to the Super Bowl. Julio Jones has been to the
top wide receiver to get there. Come on.
I'm saying I can name wide receivers that have gotten to the Super Bowl. I'm saying top 5 wide receivers do not win Super Bowls predominantly. There's like 4.
No, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is the Rams, Cooper Kupp was the man. He was good. He might have been the top 5.
He was listen. Cooper,
no, I think he led.
Listen, Cooper Kupp. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Cooper Kupp was Linsanity. Okay, that's what Cooper Kupp was. Okay,
it was who?
He was Linsanity. Do you remember Linsanity? He was good. He wasn't top 5 good.
He was the man.
Nope. Nope. And so I'll tell you the wide receivers that won Super Bowls that were top 5.
Wait. What year did he win the Super Bowl?
That was
2021.
OBJ was there, so I'm thinking that was like 2 years ago.
Was it 2021?
It could have been.
It was in 2021. He had 145 receptions and 1,947 yards.
I understand that in that
16
year,
16 touchdowns. That's top 5, brother.
And what did he do? And tell me what he did after that.
I don't know. That's top 5.
But what did he? No, you're saying he had a good game, and I'm saying he had a great season. I'm admitting
he was the top 5 that year. What are you talking about?
Having one great season does not make you a top 5.
If he was the top 5 that year and he won the Super Bowl, that kills your argument about him.
No, because he did it that season, and after that season, he never came close to that ever again.
No, I know, but I'm saying the year that he won.
That's what I'm saying. That's what top 5 means. You can So
no, wait. Are you talking about top 5 over a long period of time, or top 5 this season that you win the Super Bowl? I'm saying
I can name 5 receivers in 2021 that that are better than Cooper Kupp.
And I can tell you that's probably not true. That year. 145 receptions and 1,900 yards. Who's better than that? Are you kidding me? And that was before they went to 17 games. Come on, man. That's a top 5 wide receiver, period. Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Adams was
so is he better than Devontae Adams? Was he better than Devontae Adams?
Oh, that year he might have been. I don't know.
No. Is he better than Devontae Adams?
No.
Okay. Is he better than Justin Jefferson?
No, but I'm talking.
Okay,
about,
is he better? Hold on. Wait. Let's keep going. No, because you said top 5, so we're having.
Wait. I'm breaking this down. Are you asking over time, or are you asking in one particular season?
I'm breaking this down right now. So he's 0 for 2. Okay, so he's not better than Devontae Adams. He's not better than Justin Jefferson. Was he better than Jamar Chase? I didn't ask if he had a better season.
Wait, in 2021? Are you talking about 2021?
In 2021, was he better than? I'm saying in 2021, Jamar Chase was present. He was physically in the NFL. Is he better than Jamar Chase is at being a wide receiver?
I don't know. I think he was.
Okay, well, I'm
with
gonna tell you.
145 receptions.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah,
No, he's not better at it.
well,
Okay,
and based
so
on
that's
what?
three.
Based on what?
That's three. So
right,
Tyreek Hill. So Tyreek Hill, was he better than Tyreek Hill?
No.
Okay. Okay. So now that's four. Now, Deebo Samuel.
Yes.
Okay. CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb even in the league then?
Yes. I'm looking at him right now in the league. Is he better than CeeDee Lamb?
All right, hold on. So you got T. Higgins,
Hold
Tyreek Hill.
on. So now
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb was there.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're talking about DK Metcalf. He's better than DK Metcalf?
We're talking about 2021, right?
He was there. Yes, I understand he had a great year. Is he better than DK Metcalf? No, that's why you're doing that. Hold on. And AJ Brown was there. You telling me Cooper Kupp is better than AJ Brown?
No.
Okay, so that's five we've gotten to. We actually had about six. And all I'm saying is he wasn't a top 5 wide receiver. I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not saying he sucked.
You're saying he wasn't a top 5 wide receiver that year?
I'm saying he wasn't a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
That year. That year. You're saying he wasn't a top 5 wide receiver that year?
I'm saying he had a great year. The statistically,
no.
Answer the question. Statistically, he had the best year.
Was he a top 5 wide receiver in 2021?
He had a great year.
Was he a top? Is it yes or no?
I asked the question one more time and I'm going to answer it.
Is he a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL?
No.
In 2021?
No.
Okay. I'm looking at the stats.
No. You told me to answer the question. Now I'm going to rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Having a great year does not mean you're one of the top people, period. You had
that year you are.
No.
That year you are.
A lot of people had. Cadillac Williams had a great year rushing the ball. He was a top 5. He was a top 5 running back in the NFL. He was a top
5 running back that year. Yes.
Oh, fuck out of here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just because you had one great year does not mean that you are one of the best in the NFL. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
But Tariq, so you're saying that
Keenan Allen was there. Keenan Allen was better than him. Mike Evans was there. Mike Evans was better than him.
But you're talking about longevity over a consistent number of years. I'm just talking about one season.
I'm saying, okay.
He was the top wide receiver for one season that they won the Super Bowl. I think they won the Super Bowl that year.
Yes, they did win the Super Bowl. Okay.
Okay, so he was the top wide receiver.
So let's break down. Okay, so I'm about to kill your argument. So let's break down what a wide receiver does. Okay. So there's wide receivers that are route runners. There's wide receivers that are stronger than you. There's wide receivers that are that can jump higher than you, and there's wide receivers that are faster than you. Then there's a combination of all of them. What attributes does Cooper Kupp have over all of those wide receivers that I named that he is better at that than them? He's not a better route. He's not a top 5 route runner. He's not faster than everybody. He don't jump higher than everybody.
It doesn't matter.
No, he don't jump higher than everybody.
Listen, production is what counts. That's what you base it on. Production. Forget about route running. All that.
No, that's not true. That's because some people fit into a system. So hold on. Wait. So you telling me Wes Welker was a top 5 wide receiver and Julian Edelman was top 5 wide receivers? And Chris Hogan was a top 5 wide receiver? Because they all had
that year?
No, because they all had 100 catches in a single year.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
That Patriot system.
So at the end of the year, when you look at the stats of all the wide receivers and their stats, so you're saying that somebody
I asked you a question because there's reasons why stats can happen. I asked you a specific question. What wide receiver attributes does Cooper Kupp have that makes him superior to other wide receivers?
Catching the ball, scoring touchdowns.
So he catches the ball better than everybody else in the NFL. So Devontae Adams don't catch the ball better than him.
Well, how do you judge if somebody catches balls better?
So one answer are they in a system that is making it easier for them to be good? Because some people are good in one situation. That don't mean they're good in all the situations.
So
I'm answering your question. So if somebody is good in one situation, But so this wide receiver is only good in this one situation. And this wide receiver can be good in any situation you put him in. I don't care that his numbers are more, because if I switch them, then this wide receiver, you could see he sucked.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. In that same scenario, if you took the wide receiver that could do everything and he only scores 8 touchdowns, and you take the wide receiver that does one thing and he scores 16, what does that mean?
That means in that system, he's shining in the system.
And that makes him a top wide receiver.
No, it doesn't. It makes him
Of
shine in the system. And if he don't, hold on.
Of course he does.
Hold on. And if he don't come nowhere close to it ever again, then he did it. He did it 1 year. I'm proud of him. But
well, his quarterback,
and now he's the number 2 option. That was 2 years ago, and now he's.
But all I'm saying is that you said, and this all started with, you said Super Bowl winning teams don't have top wide receivers. Cooper Kupp. Let me just. I know you're looking at it. Cooper Kupp had 145 receptions for 1,900 yards. That 1,900 yards is 300 yards more than the next player. He had freaking 16 touchdowns. I'm telling you, he had 145. The next player has 123. You're trying to tell me that 145 catches and 1,900 yards is not a top wide receiver that year.
Okay, so
that's what you're trying to tell me.
So you like stats, right? So here's Cooper Kupp's stats. He had 806 and he had 800 yards in 2007. This from 2017. He had 869 yards, 566 yards, 783 yards.
How many games did he play?
9. I'm giving you stats. The year stats.
How many games in each one of those seasons? Was he hurt?
Listen, okay, so I'm just looking up his career stats. That's all I'm doing. So I don't know how many games he played, nor do I care, because your point was the fact that he had one great year. 1 year means that he was a top 5 wide receiver, and I'm showing you all his years. So once again,
he was a top wide receiver in 2021. What is? I don't understand why you can't admit that.
Listen, he had 869 yards, then he had 566 yards, then he had 1,000 yards, then he had 974 yards, then he had the 1,900-yard year that you're referring to, then he had 800 yards, then he had 700 yards. He is not a top 5 wide receiver. He did it one time. The league figured it out.
Why are you saying top wide receiver? I'm telling you. I'm saying he had the best year of any receiver,
and I am agreeing
That's all
with
I'm saying.
And he had the statistical best year. I don't have a problem with that.
Yes,
and that made him a top wide. That does not mean he's a top 5 wide receiver.
Why doesn't that mean that?
Because it worked. The league figured it out. Top 5. Top 5 means the top 5 means that they've adjusted and it didn't matter.
I'm not saying he's the top wide receiver in football. I said he's the top wide receiver on a Super Bowl winning team in 2021. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
So was Doug Baldwin.
I don't care about that. We're talking about Cooper Kupp. They won the Super Bowl. He was the top wide receiver that year. And you're saying he wasn't the top wide receiver that year.
I'm saying he wasn't a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
No, I'm not. That's not the question. I'm saying, was he the top wide receiver in 2021?
So, okay. So when Wes Welker had 143,
you can't. So is it?
Hold on, I'm asking you a question. All I'm asking is for consistency. So when Wes Welker has 143 yards, 143 receptions, he's the best wide receiver in football.
If he has the most, yes.
So Wes Welker was the best wide receiver. The NFL, he was the best that NFL had to offer.
Well, it depends on how many touchdowns he had.
No. He was the best the NFL had to offer.
It depends on how many touchdowns he had. How many yards did he have? Because listen,
Cooper
Kupp
broke a
had
record.
the most receptions,
he broke a record,
yards, and the most touchdowns. That's the best wide receiver.
So he broke a record. So in the record book,
yards and the most receptions.
In the record books for the most receptions ever, Wes Welker's name is at the top of that. That's over Randy Moss. It's over Terrell Owens. It's over Marvin Harrison. Over Antonio Brown. It doesn't matter. My question is simple. My question is simple. My question is simple. Him doing that means he was the best the wide receiver the NFL had to offer.
It depends on how many yards or touchdowns he scored. Because if you don't score no touchdowns, it don't matter. How many yards did he do?
You're not answering my question about it.
Let me tell you, Cooper Kupp led in all 3 major categories.
So why couldn't he do it again? So why could he not?
I don't know.
No.
Doesn't matter.
No.
He did it in 2021.
Why could he not
do it in 2021? That's all I know.
You want to know why? I'm going to answer why he couldn't do it again.
Why?
because the league caught up to him, and they said,
Okay, fine.
and hold on, and they said this is how you stop him.
Right. Okay.
So hold on. So those other wide receivers that I named, the league continued to say this is how they stop them, and they continued to answer with a season that was comparable to the one they just had.
Okay.
That's
And
why
then
they're top five
right.
wide
And
receivers.
and guess what? And they didn't make the Super Bowl.
And which is going to my argument, the quarterbacks that win Super Bowl do not have top five wide receivers.
And I agree with you.
That's
I just
what I'm
said
saying.
an example. I gave you an example of a top wide receiver that year won the Super Bowl. It goes by year by year.
Top five wide
If
receivers.
if your argument is winning Super Bowl, it has to go every year, right? So every year, most teams that win the Super Bowl don't have a top wide receiver. That year, LA had the top wide receiver. Period.
Not have the top. So he was the best
They did.
wide receiver the NFL had to offer. And then
That
he
year,
didn't do it
yes.
again.
Yes, that year, yes. The best.
That
Without
is the
question.
most
How could you not
ridiculous
even
argument I have
think
ever heard come out of your mouth. And I guarantee you're going to end up apologizing for that. But you know why? Because it has no foundation. He couldn't do it before. He couldn't do it after it.
So
He did
who
it
was the
for
best
1
wide
year.
receiver? Who was the best wide receiver that year in 2021? If it's not Cooper Kupp.
I would probably say Devontae Adams.
Okay, Devontae Adams had
or
123
Justin
receptions
Jefferson.
and
Or Justin
1,500
Jefferson.
yards. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why is Devontae Adams the better wide receiver that year? That year, not the year before or 2 years after. Why that year was Devontae Adams a better wide receiver?
Devontae Adams was a better wide receiver because what a defense could do to stop him, he always got better than that.
What do you mean?
So,
explain that. Explain that, because that doesn't. I'm not.
So to stop a wide receiver, you could stop the route running, meaning you could be physical with him. You might put somebody tall on him. You might put somebody strong on him. You might run slide coverage over to them to be able to stop them. You might be able to. They may not jump as high. They may not do all these things. Devontae Adams was the best because if you put somebody small in front of him, it didn't matter. He could get open. If you put somebody bigger than him and stronger than him on, it didn't matter. He could get open. If you slid coverage to him, it didn't matter. He could get open. I'm saying he did that before that year, and then it gave the NFL a year to figure out how to deal with him, and then he got better, and then that didn't even work. Now, the opening, every time a defense gives him an opening, he exploits it every time. That is but what I'm saying is that's
Devontae Adams is the best
wide receiver.
Right. Over the last 5 years, Devontae Adams has been the best wide receiver, period. I agree with you. So in your argument, because defenses tried to figure him out and he was able to break that, okay, maybe he didn't have the year or the receptions that Cooper Kupp had because the defenses caught up to him and limited his production. Maybe he could have had way better production numbers, but because he was double teamed, sliding coverages, yeah, he got his numbers, but he didn't have big numbers. He was in the top 5 or 10. So Devontae Adams, if you're saying that in order to rate a receiver every single year based on the fact that he can run routes, he can catch balls, he can beat coverages, but he doesn't have the big production numbers.
He does.
Well, he didn't have the big production numbers like Cooper Kupp
had. Most yards in the NFL that year,
no, right. And he didn't have the most reception, and he didn't have the most touchdowns. So that means there's somebody better than him, right?
No.
That did it better. Maybe everybody tried to slide coverages over to Cooper Kupp, and he just beat him. Maybe he just beat him
because he also had Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay, but my point is maybe, and don't forget, Devontae Adams had Aaron Rodgers thrown. All right, all I'm saying is 1,900 yards and 145 receptions. I don't care what you think he can't do. He did it. Period. Against all the defense.
Okay.
And won the Super Bowl.
Okay. So if you have a draft, and you have Devontae Adams and you have Cooper Kupp, who are you drafting?
Devontae Adams. I said.
Okay, then you don't. Then stop this argument about Cooper Kupp being better and having a better year because
he had a better year.
You would negate the year. You would negate the year for the better person.
No, I'm saying yes for the better person. Yes.
And you're saying.
I'm saying Cooper Kupp had a better year than anybody, and you said no. That's the argument.
I said he had statistically the best season.
You said he wasn't the
I
top
don't know how
five
else
quarterback.
to say that.
You said he wasn't. You said that year he was not the best wide receiver, and you said because he didn't run routes and all this other stuff.
He's not better than any of those guys. I named like.
Well, I didn't say he was better. I didn't
guys
say
that
he
were
was
just
better
than
than them. I said he had the best year a wide receiver. He was the number one wide receiver that year. That's what I said.
So whoever has the most statistical numbers is the best.
If somebody has 145 receptions, 1,900 yards, and 16 touchdowns, who's better than that? Davante Adams?
Can they do it again?
That's not the question. Who's better than that year?
The person that can do it again.
But they were better than him that year.
No. The person that can. All right. So did anybody have 1,900 yards? No. But a person that has, I would take the guy that could have 1,500 yards.
We're not talking about who you would take. I'm talking about that year.
That's who's better.
Who was the best wide receiver?
Well, if you was a GM of a team, would you not pick the best players?
You keep trying.
Hold on. No. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. If you were a GM of a team, would you not draft the best players? Yes or no?
But you don't know who the best player is.
I asked you a question. Can you please just answer it? If you were a GM, if you were the GM, would you not draft the best players?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're telling me you would draft people ahead of him, why are we having this? If you would draft, if you're saying so you're saying that year he had the best year, he was the best.
The only reason why you're saying
hold on. And I said if I put who I just said was the best in the same draft, and you would say, well, I would take the other person.
Tariq, you're going on the draft. You don't know who can do what when you're drafting somebody. You're only saying this because you've seen what these guys can do after the fact. Come on. Well, of course you're going to say, I would take Davante Adams because Davante Adams has proven over the years that he is a great wide receiver.
Well, I'm saying, I'm trying to.
All I'm saying is, in 2021, Cooper Kupp was the best wide receiver.
No, period. But what I'm saying is, you're supposed to learn from what happened.
What from how if you're a rookie, how are you?
No, but I'm saying, that's called advancement.
Are you saying that the GM should, if Cooper Kupp and Davante Adams came up in the draft, you're saying they should draft Davante Adams instead of Cooper Kupp?
Yes.
Based on what?
Based on he's better.
Better when? In the NFL or in college?
His whole career.
No, in college or the NFL?
His whole career.
You're basing it on the NFL. He's already in the NFL. Yeah, you can say that now because you've seen him in the NFL.
And I'm telling you, don't want to go to college route because that's a whole other.
No. But I'm saying you cannot say that you would draft Davante Adams before Cooper Kupp in college. You can't say that.
What I'm saying is, when you look at what we know right now.
Yes, after him being in the NFL,
you're supposed to take that's how you get better at something. You look.
But you don't know that when you don't know that.
But I asked that question with you having the knowledge of both of the players.
I would take Davante Adams. I said that.
That means why?
Because over the years, Davante Adams is the man.
No. Why would you draft? Why would you draft with the information you have? Why would you draft?
If I know what I know now.
Yes. Why?
Because Davante Adams is proven to be a better wide receiver.
Took you 35 minutes to just finally say exactly what I said. And that's all I'm saying.
But yeah, but I never said that he wasn't.
You did. You did.
I've already told you that Davante Adams.
And it's on film.
But what you can't say is that Cooper Kupp was the best wide receiver in 2021. You can't say
he had the best statistical year.
No, he was the number one wide receiver in the NFL in 2021. Yes or no?
No.
Okay, well then that's where you can't admit that he was the best wide receiver based on his production. He was. He proved it.
He didn't.
And you're saying that he wasn't because why? Why was he not the best wide receiver?
What I'm saying is having the best statistical year does not mean you're the best.
Was Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback when he had the great stats?
He's always had great stats.
Was he the best quarterback?
When was he not the best quarterback?
Okay, so based on his stats, right? And his production.
No.
Actually,
Patrick Mahomes proved what he was actually when he started losing pieces. It didn't matter. He showed all these pieces that supposedly was supposed to mean so much. It didn't matter. In this situation or in that situation, it don't matter. I can still do this.
When he had the best statistical year of any quarterback in the league, was he the best quarterback that year? With the pieces.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, he was. Huh?
Yes.
Nobody else was
But
better.
not just because of that, but because of everything that look what he showed you. All I'm saying is look at what he showed me
that he was a great quarterback and that he could produce.
I didn't say listen, first of all, I never said Patrick Mahomes, the first Super Bowl he won, was the best quarterback in the NFL.
No, I said
after he no what I'm saying is after no matter what he loses or no matter what he does, this is exactly what I'm using words that are the same with the wide receiver to explain this. When no matter what, however this changed, whatever the defense said, this is how we stop him. It didn't matter. In all those openings, he still was able to exploit it time and time again. I'm saying Devontae Adams as a wide receiver does that, and Cooper Kupp did it 1 year.
How do you know he does that? His numbers didn't show it.
Well, you watched the game, right? You watched the game.
No, but I'm saying his numbers don't show somebody who's the best wide receiver at breaking those coverages, because he should have better numbers.
With sucky wide receivers? And
hold
on. With sucky wide receivers and a running game that is okay and losing defensive players.
But to your argument, if he doesn't have a running game, if he doesn't have a running game and he doesn't have good wide receivers, and the defenses are keying on him, and they're locking him down, and he still produces good numbers, but not the best numbers in the year.
And I'm saying I would take.
He didn't produce the best.
But I'm saying I would take that over whoever was the.
Okay, that's fine. I have no problem with that. All I'm saying is those same defenses know that Cooper Kupp was the man, and they slid defenses over to him. Odell Beckham wasn't really a threat. Okay, he wasn't.
Gotta wrap this up though.
Okay, he wasn't a threat. All I'm saying is they slid the defenses over Cooper Kupp. You don't think that they knew that he was the man, and they couldn't stop him. So he did the same thing. He had the same attributes that Devontae Adams had, and he put up the numbers. You can't deny that. That's all I'm saying.
And that's good for a year.
Good for a year. 2021. That's right.
It's not a strong investment. That's a weak investment.
It doesn't matter about the investment. 2021, they won the Super Bowl. That was the best investment they made. They won the Super Bowl, period.
That's the best. All right, y'all. We ran a little bit longer. My boy, Derek, he had to go. I don't know what he's talking about. Y'all know what this is. Like, we need to listen. If you're going to have a statement, you have to address what is good, what is bad, and what is better. Okay? That's just the fact of the matter of what you have to have. If you're going to have a conversation about better can't be for a short period of time. Better is better because better is better. Better gets over the hump time and time again. It's better. If you don't have that, then I don't know what that other conversation or I don't know what the other definition of better actually is. But either way, this was a great show. I really liked it. I liked the heat that came from the show. So, for everybody, once again, check out our full episodes on Spotify and YouTube. Check out our reels on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We all over the place. And I'm sorry, Derek, you're gonna have to hear this over the line, but cuz you don't know football. I'm your boy Reek. Just like Martin said, I'm gonna see you when I see you. Peace.